The Tony Award-winning musical Moulin Rouge has been entertaining audiences for the better part of a decade, and today we're talking with one of the original Broadway cast members who has returned to the production to set it off with incredible fanfare, Ricky Rojas. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
So being one of the original cast members, you recently returned to the role back in January. How does it feel to kind of come back for this closing chapter of Moulin Rouge?
Man, it's every time I come back, I still have a pinch me moment. Because from the beginning, I've never, every time I leave, I don't know if I'm coming back or not.
Sure.
And it just so happens that they keep on asking me back, which is really, really lovely of them. So, it's a gift to be able to give birth to something and then put it to bed. You know what I mean? It's like not many times in your career you can say you've done that. Of course, the show is still continuing all over the world, but Broadway is, is the flagship and it's where it all started. So yeah, super excited to be back.
The thing about the Broadway version, I've seen it on tour. I've seen it on Broadway multiple times. I've seen the show 4 or 5 times in different capacities. But the Broadway one is so special because it's like a party. You're so close and intimate and stuff like that. And you are kind of synonymous for Santiago. It's hard to see you not in that role,
I know. It's, when I first auditioned for it, it was kind of like one of those, I don't know. Have you ever acted or done auditions before yourself or anything like that?
I'm too camera shy for, well, not camera shy. I'm too stage fright for that.
Right. Okay. So when as an actor, when you get auditions come through, you do an assessment, like how appropriate am I for it? How much do I want it? And it's kind of like it's happened to me twice in my career. And actually both of them have been my times I've done a Broadway show. My first one was Burn the Floor. And it happened again with Moulin Rouge, where you get the sides and you get the audition and you're like, oh, I'm going to get this. You just think automatically like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. And it's like, there's no doubt in your mind. And that's what happened with Moulin Rouge when I got it. It just felt like I knew this character, a lot of it, the guy that did it in the film did such a good job of making a nice character. So I took all the good stuff and I kind of, just peppered on little bits of me, and my life experience. Like a lot of my, interpretation of Santiago has my dad in it, so, awesome. I've been mimicking my dad's voice since I was like 5, cause he still speaks with a very thick Spanish accent because I was born in Chile. So, it just came second nature to me. And my dad's a very passionate person, it's like a lot of it, was resonating with me. So, yeah, it was a really cool process right from the beginning.
So that real life experience really kind of played a part in kind of developing who Santiago is.
Totally.
When you're kind of getting into a character like this, as you're pulling, you said, there's a great blueprint from the movie, you're pulling for your father. How do you kind of find your Santiago by pulling from all those pieces? Like, how do you find that balance?
I don't know. It's kind of like you could, when you're creating a piece, you kind of, as an actor, you bring, tools to work, sure. and you kind of, when you're creating stuff, you're like, oh, maybe this one will work, and you take one out, or maybe this one will work, or that's too much, but it's kind of like a lot of the process is trial and error in using the tools that you've got. So, some stayed, some went, Santiago can also be very cool, but when they're it was a real, how can I say,
he's like the epitome of cool. Just throwing that out there. He is like such one of the coolest characters on Broadway.
He is cool, but the thing is, when you play cool on stage, sometimes it reads as like lazy or too aloof. So it's kind of like that, finding that balance of like when he needs to explode and when he's not. Do you know what I mean? It's like that was all part of it as well. So, but he's a very cool character. I love him.
I think what's also kind of feeds in that too is just like the passion that Santiago has throughout the show. Yeah. Like he's a very passionate person about everything he does, be it the art or be it the women. There's that passionate piece to Santiago.
Well, yeah, it's like if he was an animal, he'd be a dog, right? He'd be a dog. As soon as he gets the bone, he wants it. It's like he's very focused, but not peripheral vision goes. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just laser focus. as like happens a lot in like Bad Romance when Nene comes on, it's like, boom, she's there. And it's like, that's all he wants. It's like, he smells it and he wants to eat it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I totally forgot the question that you asked me, but I just ran.
But I think that's one of the best scenes in the entire, it kind of starts off act 2.
I know, it's the best, isn't it?
And he's so keyed in the moment she's even within his vicinity. Like, it's just like he can sense her.
Well, yeah, it's like I always say whenever I'm explaining or trying to help other people who are doing Santiago or they're doing rehearsal, I'm like, it's like you have to look at it like a piece of steak or a burger or whatever your favorite food is, and you haven't eaten for months, right? Yeah. And that's his passion, his sole focus, is that. And Nini and Santiago have got such a cool little relationship going on, It's kind of like you don't know whether they're going to fight or do the other thing. You know what I mean?
Correct.
It's at any given moment. That's the whole point of it. It's like they can turn on a dime,
And the cool thing kind of about Moulin Rouge too is that there's so many different kinds of love in it. I mean, it's a show about love. And so to have that kind of aspect of love too, the more of the, I'm going to use the word just to be a little slightly PG, but the passionate love of just like the will they, won't they, that pull, that struggle of what's going on between the two of them.
Yeah, of course. And it's a nice, is it juxtaposition to the love that Satine and Christian have, which is such a more like deep and like a longing rather than a very passionate, like, I'm sure it is very passionate at points, but there's more of a depth, and it's a more complicated love. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a complex thing.
I feel like Christine and Satine are more like almost like new love. As a psychologist, I always look at things I'm a relationship therapist on top of that.
All right.
Like that like very early, love of just kind of like lovey-dovey, you're kind of in the clouds. And then, Santiago's relationship with Nini feels more in depth of just like having, I don't know, more, like you said, complex. That's exactly the word it is. It's a more complex relationship between the two.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, having been with this character for so long, do you feel like your interpretation of who Santiago is has evolved since your first performance to now?
Well, yeah, I think so. But the thing that helps it evolve is not so much evolve, but it like change. I feel like I did a pretty good job at the beginning, and like in the first few months of like honing it, and then like it's just kind of stayed emanating because it doesn't want to get too big and it doesn't want to get any less, because any too like a little bit bigger, it's gonna start pulling focus and not you're on stage. Your focus is going to be drawn to him rather than what's happening on like the important stuff, the story-led stuff.
Sure.
So I find it's kind of moved sideways, if that makes sense, because you have to, he adapts. Santiago has to change with whoever he's playing off, and the dynamics of that. So when a Toulouse changes or a Christian changes or a Nini changes, those different dynamics, not every actor is the same. Not every actor plays it the same. Some lean into, different facets of their character, and Santiago and me have to adapt to that and work with it. It's a team effort. So you can't be, I find when I'm working, you can't be too rigid in the way you're doing it. You can't just press play or pull the cord on the doll and let it go. You kind of have to adjust. You have to go with the flow,
And that's why it's kind of, why it is live theater, because it does depend. It changes as you're kind of going through it.
Absolutely. And like, audiences affect that as well. Sometimes you might have to play some stuff a little bit more tongue in cheek than you want to, because the audience is a little bit more rowdy. Like what happened the other day. I was, they introduced me as the Argentinian, and I stand up and everyone started cheering and clapping because it was the World Cup and Argentina was in the final. Right. So I kind of had to semi-acknowledge it, but not really. Do you know what I mean?
Like so do like a wink, but like keep moving on.
Yeah. Like we're moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that's the brilliance too. Having seen you very early on in the show, and then seeing you now with Aaron, it was very much like best friends. But like seeing Santiago, this one almost felt like an older, protective but still fun older brother. And getting to see how that kind of changes with the other actors was such a cool kind of moment to kind of bookend this experience.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what I mean by adapting to it. and that's what keeps it alive. That's live theater. That's what keeps the piece vibrant, you know, having to adapt and having to find these new things, you know, every time that you do the show with new people. I think that's the beauty of live theater. You can't get that on film, you know.
Truly,
Film
absolutely.
is every time you watch the film, you change. The film doesn't. Every time you watch a show, you might change, but the actors as well, you know, different renditions, you find something, you're changing together. You know, that's the beautiful thing about live theater.
So with your character then of Santiago, what do you feel is like an aspect of your character that maybe audiences may not notice, but you think is incredibly important to who he is?
That's a good question. I find that he's, you know, that's a really good question. I'm trying to think of it.
Because there's a lot of work that goes into that. I assume that goes into making a character that people don't even see, but is important to who he is.
Of course. Like, obviously, you know, he's got the gigolo in an Argentinian and you know, the tango dancing, but I think, and I'm actually a bit bummed that this never got into the show. The narcolepsy got let off, right?
Okay.
The narcolepsy wasn't included in the workshop, for some reason or other, which I tried to bring back in, but it didn't happen. I think it wasn't working for some reason in the workshops and stuff. So they ditched it. Okay. And I find Santiago's a great friend, right? He's very solid. He's a very loyal friend, right? He sticks with his people. He's not afraid to be on the outskirts of society, obviously being a bohemian, right? And the fact that, like, I'm bummed that the narcolepsy got taken out, because it's in the weirdness of these characters that they find their common bond. Mm-hmm. Toulouse is, you know, yeah, he is old as aristocracy, but he's, you know, he's deformed. He's, you know, he's got his short legs, or he's, you know, Christian's, you know, a weirdo who's come from a foreign land. Santiago's narcolepsy is weird, right? All these weird things is what brings them together and makes that tight bond and makes that super solid friendship. And I think had that been in a little bit more, it would have just oomphed it up a bit. But I think the friendship and the loyalty aspect is what grounds him, is what's super important to the character, you know.
Well, you're right. I think that you do almost, like, the little bit of weirdness to all of them was what kind of brought them together. And then, but having the narcolepsy out there, the friendship is kind of one of the really defining factors of Santiago within the story of kind of Christian's tale. Yeah,
of course. That's the driver. It's the driver. And that's what makes you fall in love with the trio at the beginning in Royals, you know. It sets it up. It sets it up beautifully.
Speaking of kind of the musical numbers, do you feel like there's one where Santiago is at his most authentic?
Probably. See, he's got a great duality, Santiago, right?
He does.
He's very much like me, and and it just so happens it's in the film as well, right? He's, you know, he can be super passionate. I think the passionate ranges, whatever it is, he feels life at 120% all the time. If he's sad, he's sad. If he's happy, he's happy. He wants everyone to be happy. You know what I mean? If he's lustful, oh God, you know, he wants it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think he's authentic in all of them.
Sure.
Right? Like, Shut Up and Raise, like in the Bohemian burning down the house, he's like so happy, right? He's hanging out with his friends. There's joyfulness, right? Bad Romance, there's the passionate side that comes out, right? So it's like you get authenticity in all aspects. You kind of like that he's most authentic. It's like,
it's all
I don't know. Yeah. At the end, when they're singing, you know, Come What May, the reprise, it's like it's solemn, it's longing, he's mourning, he's grieving. Yeah, it's all of them.
Perfect.
It's all of them.
I mean, and that makes sense though for this character, because again, he is, from the moment you step onto stage, you are 100% authentic. Like he's a character that doesn't hide a lot.
No, it's like you are. It's like if he doesn't like something, he'll say it. You know, he's not going to beat around the bush. You know, he'll just tell you. You know, why you do that? Why did you do this? Like, that's terrible. Or you look great. You look stupid in that. Like he'll tell you it's very much like my dad as well.
Which is, I mean, I love a person that is just going to be open and honest and like tell you how it is. Like my mom's the same way. Like you want to hear the good or the bad, she's just going to say it, you know?
Exactly.
So if your character were to step in today's world, what song do you think would instantly become his anthem?
Oh, I don't know. Probably Livin' La Vida Loca.
Absolutely.
Probably
so
Livin' La Vida Loca. Yeah. Oh, totally.
I mean, that's the right vibes. Absolutely. Yeah. So with so many themes from Moulin Rouge, from love to grief to, you know, friendship, what do you feel like really resonates the most with you with where you're at in your life right now?
Truth, I think.
Sure.
Truth. Because, you know, I'm at a stage where it's kind of like you get what you get. And being true to what I, you know, as an actor bring to the table. When I go into auditions now, it's kind of like less trying to please them and show them what they want, as opposed to this is what I can do and this is my interpretation of it. If you don't like it, then it's fine, you know?
I love that as well. Yeah.
There's a real, what's the word? Ease, or a real kind of like settling in that
Sure.
respect, you know? Yeah, I think that.
It's kind of living to being your authentic self too, then. You're not going to try to be somebody that you're not for these roles.
Exactly. True. Yeah.
Then one final question for you is just, what are you hoping audiences take away from this experience with the Moulin Rouge?
I just hope that they feel that, you know, there's more to life. There's more to life than the little pool that you might live in. And,
sure,
you know, truth, beauty, freedom, and love. People are different. To accept people, to be tolerant, to have empathy for people, and know that joy and love and truth and beauty and freedom, all of that is the same in every different culture in the world, which is why the show is so popular everywhere around the world. You know, because everyone can identify with it. Everyone resonates with it. And it makes you realize that the world is not so different. You know, it's not so different. People have the same cares, the same worries, the same wants, needs, loves in every corner of the world. And I think, you know, theater and like this piece, you know, it shows you that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, all those things are so important right now, specifically in today's day and age. We just need to be accepting and to be authentic and to have truth and justice and love and all those things. So
absolutely. And it's a great night out.
Truly. I will say that having seen a lot of Broadway shows, this is one that no matter what, it's always a party. Even though it's really tough at the end. It ends in a very high note and like a party, and you can't help but just want to dance and to be a part of the show.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's still a show that it wows you as soon as you step into theater, because it's Derek McLean's beautiful set. It just, your jaw drops, and then your jaw remains dropped throughout the whole thing until the end, until you leave on a high at a party. Hopefully a little bit tipsy, you know?
Absolutely. I have to say, as this was my first Broadway show ever, when I walked into the theater, I was shocked by how immersive it is with the elephant and the staging and all of the before
it's so
acts.
Cool. Have you seen that clip of when the cast first saw the set in Boston?
I did not.
It's online. It's on TikTok or Instagram or something like that, and you can see the looks on our faces. We're literally like all the red like glare. Like it's just our faces. They didn't show the set, but we're like, what is going on? Like we were losing our. Like it was crazy.
Because it is so immersive. It's like you are stepping into the Moulin Rouge. Like it's not you're just watching the Moulin Rouge happen.
Yeah, it's great, especially like with the pre-show. You know, whenever all the different characters come out and like mingle a little bit. You know, it's kind of really sets the vibe nicely. It's cool.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Ricky, and for talking to us about Moulin Rouge. It has been such a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So the Moulin Rouge runs at the Al Hirschfield Theater in NYC through August 30th. So get your tickets now. We'll see you there.